My name is Iris Francis, but as a young girl, people name me River Girl. I've come to like and embrace this, even though it wasn't meant kindly at the time. I'd change the world if I was given the chance to do so. I'd like to empower others. I want them to know that they are just like me, young irises. And if they give life their best shot, they can have it all. Family, career, love, laughter, home, a warm bed, hot meals.
Yo, got your soy fucking now, you say, Buil. Oh, Leo. Oh, this is again. Yeah, she's. We live just like this, and we'd sleep like this in a circle. All of us, all the girls in one hut like this, and my brother and them would be in the hut next door, and they would also sleep like that. And we'd cook just like this. My mother would cook on the floor like this. No, there was nothing easy about growing up on the farm. Nothing, not one day was easy about being there. But I suddenly realized I grew up here. I lived here. Oh my gosh! Like now I realize, this is such a beautiful part of the world. And my father owned this land. I was privileged to be born here and raised here and kept away from where we moved to, where Newlands was gangsters and fighting and violence, and we saw people get killed and stabbed to death, and I had my own trauma there, and when I think back now, and maybe that's why my face beams, I just think my father in his way protected us from that. This is my stepmother, my young mother, my sister's ancestral home, my father's second wife, and we lived across there where you see those two huts and that built-up house. All four of those buildings were round huts. The two in the middle was one for the girls to be protected from the outside. So the second one from here would be the girls' one, and then the other one on the other side would be the kitchen where my mother would cook, and we'd all eat in the dining room and lounge. But I mean, there was no furniture. We just sit on the floor. The middle one, and then the two outer ones was my father and my mother's one, and this one on this side would be my brother's one. So it was the men, being my father, could protect my mother, so they would be on the outside, and in the middle would be us as females, and the one where we eat. But that's a very zhushed up version of my family home.
My father changed the face of KwaZulu-Natal almost on his own. Today there's a whole section in a museum in Durban dedicated just to my dad. He was always a person who rallied against anything that was oppressive and unfair. At the same time, he was a hard man, and he could keep good things from his children. Nonetheless, and I'm not sure when, but at some point I realized that this man was a powerful leader.
Hello, Daddy. How are you?
Okay.
Hi guys, this is my father, Morris Finn, and this is his home. He runs a school from here, a little creche, and yeah, this is the place of many amazing memories, many Christmas memories. We lived on the farm, and he had other common law wives, and he would flaunt them, and we didn't know, and my mother would have to deal with that shame. And I mean, she didn't marry my father thinking that he would have 5 other wives. I mean, she married him thinking that somebody that she loved and married and whatever, and then eventually, after marriage, he then says, well, I'm a Zulu chief and I want to have all these wives. So he shifted her out of her home, the only home she knew, to bring somebody else in. And she lived with that, that shame until she couldn't take it anymore, and in the middle of the night piled us all into a car and got somebody to take us in the dead of night to Durban. So we lived in Newlands East at the time, and she worked really hard to keep us going. I mean, she worked at an old age home called Bull Buchanan, and then she worked as a domestic for a white female and her son, where I spent all my holidays and every weekend. She had it hard, She was raising these kids without him being there, trying to support us, trying to pay for everything. And there were, 8, 9 of us at the time living with her in a little 2-bedroom place in Newlands East. So I have my mother's
She's cut from a different cloth. She's incredible. And then I had a very traumatic experience. Actually, on my birthday, on my 13th birthday, people broke into the house and I was raped. And it created a huge shift, and I only see that shift now as an adult. It was very, very painful, but I've always just believed that if you just stick at it, if you just do the right thing, if you work really hard, and if you have integrity and you're authentic, things are going to get better.
I just want you all to serve me. I served you all so many years. Cooking is not my style anymore.
My mom loved us in the sense that she would do anything to feed us and clothe us and make sure we had. But my mother's not an I love you type of person. She's not a hugger. She's never told me that I love you. She's never put her arms around me and hugged me. She's not that kind of person. I know she loved me. I know she loved me. She didn't tell me, but I know. She showed me in other ways.
Like my mum, I've lived to serve. That's how I want to be remembered, as somebody who left the world better than the way I found it. I've never been one to dwell on the disappointments of my life. My experiences have taught me that adversity oftentimes are the driving factors in shaping who we are and who we become. Today I know that I'm an asset to any environment and situation. I don't know how I developed this attitude. I'm just thankful for the life I've lived that has made me like this.
I think women in general struggle with their self-worth. But with having dealt with severe trauma in my youth and having dealt with years of an abusive relationship, I look back now and I think that a defining moment came where one day I looked at my partner and I said to him, "Why do you treat me like I'm a dog? Why do you do that? Why do you make me feel like I'm a dog?" And I knew that I would never, ever, ever, ever allow somebody to treat me that way again. If you know what your values are, then you can't be shifted from that. You can't be waylaid from living your truth. And you know, I've always been clear on what my values are. If you can inspire other people, then you're a leader. Isn't that what it is? Leaders inspire others to follow. And that's what leadership is. You know why I drive a nice car and live in a nice house? It's because never once did I aspire for that. I never once aspired to drive a nice car, live in a nice house. It was never one of my dreams. I aspire to be a good mother, and I aspire to be a wonderful, supportive wife. I aspire to have something in me that people look at and say, "I want what she has. I want to be good to others. I want to be kind to the environment. I want to be kind to animals." And because I aspire to be for the simpler things in life, God blessed me with much. Just go out there and do it. Just know, just believe in who you are. Just know that the whole world, the whole universe will rise up to meet you if you just dare to just step out. And I've literally always been like that. I'm just, I can't put my finger on why I am like that. I just am.
And my wish is that she must go from strength to strength. Because right up now in the river curve, she just started that on her own this boards and all. I said, "Alice, what are you doing? Do you think you'll ever achieve anything from me?" "Mommy, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it, and it's going to come to life." So I just hope that whatever she's doing, she must take it in her stride and go from strength to strength. That is my wish for her.